Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of the Awesome Blossom Knits podcast. My name is Lauren, and thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a little bit of knitting, a little bit of sewing, and a little bit of yarn dyeing today. So let's go ahead and start with finished projects. So my one and only finished project this week is these socks. This is the June socks by Jenn Emerson. It's a nice cabled pattern, and I knit these out of my own hand-dyed yarn, so Awesome Blossom Knits yarns. The pink color is called hibiscus, and the gray is called the perfect gray. I really love how they turned out. They did take a while. There's cabling every few rows, so these were a bit of a slower sock project, but I'm really happy with them. And I was going to show you I have quite a bit of leftovers. So I have 52 grams left of the pink and 90 grams of the gray. So I could knit a whole another full-length pair of socks if I paired this with a contrast color again, or I could probably do just short socks if I didn't want to use a contrast color with it out of the leftovers. And obviously most of a skein of the gray, since that was only used for heels, toes, and cuffs. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And these were on my BFL sock base, which is 75% superwash BFL and 25% nylon. So yeah, that is those. I don't think I really had anything else to say about them. So let's move on to works in progress. First one is these Rhinebeck Roomies socks. That is the name of the pattern, is Rhinebeck Roomies. And it is by Kay Litton, also known as the Crazy Sock Lady. And the yarn is Knit Picks Felici in the Punch Bug colorway. And I am really happy with how these are coming out. So this is the first one, and I'm going to do an afterthought heel. So it's done except for the heel. I haven't cast on the second one yet. When I originally saw pictures of this pattern, I believe Kay's sample was knit out of a speckled yarn, and I wasn't really attracted to the pattern when I first saw it until I started seeing pictures of people knitting it in self-striping yarn on Instagram. And I thought it really suits self-striping yarn. So when I wanted to cast on this Felici, that is the pattern I chose. It's really squishy and like stretchy. I think it's going to be a really nice comfy pair of socks to wear. Really fun to knit. It's an easy pattern repeat. I'm hoping to cast on the second one of this sometime in the next couple days. But I have also started another sock project since I last recorded. These ones are going to be socks for my son, who is 7 years old. Little boy socks. And this is the first one. Knitting these ones out of Knit Picks Stroll. The blue is just called blue, I think. Yeah, it's just called blue. And then the gray color is Dove Heather that I had left over from some other socks. And I'm using the Blueberry Waffles pattern, which is a really popular pattern, free pattern. You can find it on Ravelry, I believe. It is by Sandy Turner. And I have gone ahead and knit the heel and knit to where I would start the toe. And then I put this first sock on holder needles because it's going to be a few months yet before it's going to be cold enough to wear hand knit socks. So, and I don't know, his feet might grow between now and then. So I figure I'll just pick them up maybe in October or so. And then if I need to knit a few more rows before I start the toe decreases to make them fit, I can do that. I was going to just knit the socks and then leave the heels to be done later, but I didn't feel like knitting another pair with afterthought heels, so I figured I'd just knit the toes later instead. So I put those on holder needles and went ahead and started the second sock. So here's the second one. These are 56 stitch socks, and I'm knitting them on US size 1 needles, 2.25 millimeter. These are the Knitter's Pride Nova Platina needles. The other two pairs of socks I showed were also on size 1s. These I'm knitting on Chow Goose, and I think the June socks were also on Chow Goose. But size 1 is my usual needle size. Chow Goose are my favorite. I forgot to say also, I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel on the Blueberry Waffle Socks and a Fish Lips Kiss heel on these guys. I think the pattern has an afterthought heel, but I did Fish Lips Kiss instead. Okay, so that is all the knitting I have to show you this week. I have worked on my peridot cardigan that I've been working on for, I think, a couple months now. I'll probably bring it and show it next time. It is starting to look more like a sweater every day, so that's good. But I'm still not done with the body. I did have one little sewing project I wanted to share before I show you yarn I've dyed the last few weeks and added to the shop. So I made these little cloth napkins. So I've been thinking a lot the last few weeks about trying to produce less waste and, you know, thinking about where I can substitute in reusable things instead of disposables. So I made these to try to go through less paper towels that are just going to get thrown away and, you know, go to a landfill. So I made them out of scraps. One side is quilting cotton and one side is flannel. And the flannel was scraps from pajama pants I made myself, I think last year. And the quilting cotton scraps are mostly from making project bags. So I sewed these up the other day. There's actually a few more, but we've already been using them. So they are in the laundry. So I made really similar ones that are a little bit smaller and are flannel on both sides a few years ago that I use as makeup remover wipes. And I use those all the time. So I'm hoping that we'll get plenty of use out of these and it'll save some trees from being turned into paper towels. All right, so last thing I want to show you is some yarn I've dyed the last couple weeks and put up in the shop. I don't think I showed these on the podcast yet, but I did post pictures on Instagram. So these two are both dyed on my merino nylon sock base. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And this one is blues and purples, speckles, and I named it hydrangea. I think this one's probably my favorite that I've dyed so far. I think it's really, really pretty. And then this one is all the colors. And I called this one Rainbow Speckles, I believe. And then one that I just scanned up last night. This one was dyed on, ooh, that's looking a lot more neon, and that's not really showing up true to color on the screen. This one was dyed on BFL sock base, so 75% BFL, 25% nylon. I don't think the color is really showing up right. There's more yellow in here, and it's not that, I don't know, That's a little better, maybe. I don't know. I haven't taken pictures and listed this one on my Etsy shop yet, and I also haven't settled on a name, so, but I really like it. I think it reminds me of like seaweed, but in a good way. All right, so that is all I have to show you this week. I'm sorry if it's a little rushed. My kid is on summer break and he's outside the door asking me if he can come in every few minutes and making a bunch of noise. So I'm trying to get through this quickly. But I thank you so much for watching, and I will put my Ravelry, Instagram, Etsy information, usernames all in the description box below if you're interested in finding me in any of those places. And I hope you have a good couple weeks until I see you next. Thank you. Bye.